What is up guys, Andy Forest Steam Runner here and welcome back to another video. And today we're finalising the Need for Speed training block. We're putting the last cherry on top of the cake, last long run workout to finish 12 weeks of speed training. So we're going to go through this, I'll take you along the journey and we'll wrap things up at the end with a few stats and figures as to how the block has gone. So I'm excited to wrap this one up. It's not really been much of a training series, this one. I've not been producing weekly content like I have in the past, but some of the videos were superseded by shoe testing or whatever it was. Hopefully you've seen some glimpses of what's been going on over the last 12 weeks. So I'm going to take you out here today, the last tempo long run of the block, and I am amazed that I've made 12 weeks of speed work. I've battled niggles, frustrations, you name it, it's all been there. I have a niggle right now in my right calf, it's just a little bit tight, but you know, it's been such a change from the longer, slower aerobic stuff I've been doing. I had to expect my body to put up a bit of a protest against the speedy stuff, and I've also, in conjunction with that, dropped the volume as I mentioned in the previous video. So we'll go through all the stats at the end. Today's all about 3 by 10 minutes tempo pace. Now we progressed these long runs from the start of the block, just easy long runs, then to moderate long runs, checked in a few easies here and there where I've been tired or fatigued, and in the last 4 or 5 weeks we've ramped it up to got more race specific and finished off with some tempo long runs, starting at 5 by 5 minutes of tempo, then we went to 6 by 5 minutes, 5 by 6 minutes, 4 by 7.5 minutes, and now 3 by 10 minutes. So as you can see, all of them are 30 minutes worth of tempo effort. We're just now extending the duration as to how long we're in those tempo zones for. So as I said, wrapping it up today with 3 by 10. So I'm going to take you along the journey. I am doing a moderate warm-up, a moderate cool-down, around 40 to 45 minutes, head back out into the industrial estate and we'll get things started. Okay, hit the estate, 5 minutes until we go. Just getting ready. On average, 550 pace, 650 pace per mile for the warm-up. A light, moderate. Feels good actually. Heart rate is mid 140, so it's all really exciting. I'm really appreciating where this training block has taken me, although I do have to be brutally honest with you and say I need to be careful of my calf right now, because it started off tight this morning and it's not easing up. So it could be one of those runs that I have to baby it through, baby the leg through, get to the end and rest and ice and all of that stuff. Doesn't feel like it's going to go, but it's just tight. So going to make judgment calls on this run as we go. So definitely going to start the first rep and we'll see how we get on. First rep done, 5:47 average pace, bang on the money. A bit windier out here than it has been recently, but made it a bit tougher. We'll grind through, hopefully, onto rep 2, 90 seconds recovery. 5:49 pace. I was 5:45 average for the first 7 minutes, and then the stomach has dropped. Honestly, this shows you how important it is to be disciplined with your diet when you've got gluten issues like me. I'm eating too much gluten at the moment and it's ruining things, so I'm not quite sure. I haven't got I don't know if I did the last one. I did the last rep, but I paid the price. I'm gonna have to call it here and walk home. My stomach has dropped. I really don't know when I'm gonna learn. Gluten is just not my friend. One piece of toast last night and sets my stomach into overdrive, but 5:55 pace, so it wasn't the worst, certainly wasn't the best. Let's wrap this series up. So not quite the long run I had planned. Fingers crossed. I really wanted to get 18 miles, but sadly it didn't happen. I am my own worst enemy when it comes to my diet. I know gluten does not agree with me. I know I have a massive sensitivity there, and yet I still persist to eat these foods that aggravate my stomach. It was toast the night before, and yeah, you guessed it, by that last rep. And to be honest with you, I really thought about canning it after that second one. But I got the third one done, got the quality in there, and just sacked off the cool down. Got it up to 12 miles and wrapped it there. Meaning we've now completed 12 weeks of training. I'm finding, as much as I get frustrated with myself, I also do kind of let things go a little bit better as I'm getting older and wiser. I'm kind of learning that actually, do you know what? It's your own fault. If you're going to eat these sorts of things, you've just got to suffer the consequences. So I kind of settled down after that run relatively quickly. But that's 12 weeks over. And what I'm going to do quickly is I'm going to throw some stats on screen for you. And then we're going to talk about the one lesson that I've learned over this block, leading into the next block and future blocks. Now, let me put the stats on screen right now. It kind of gives an average mileage per week, which was around 47 point something miles. So relatively low in terms of what I like to be at. Obviously, as I've talked about before, I like to be in the 55s to 60s. I knew with the intensity in this block, I had to dial back the volume, and that's fine. I'm actually no regrets on that. Although the mileage is relatively low, there was a couple of really low weeks in there. One was a holiday half term, and one was a mini taper week for the Newent 9 race. So they're going to bring the averages down in general. But overall, most of them were, a couple were late 40s, most of them were well into the 50s. Really happy with how it played out. Started the workouts, averaging, really struggling to break into the 520s for the threshold work, and running some 80 second to 81 second 400s. So on the most recent block, running 8 by 3 minutes at threshold pace at average of 5:22 per mile, and the 400 reps with now consistent floats around 75s to 77s, and off floats, so just walking recoveries, running some lower 72s and 3s. So overall, I feel like I've made massive progress in this block, and that leads me now into the thing that I want to talk about, which is the kind of lesson that I've learned. It's something that's now left me with a bit of a calf niggle. I'm going to have to take a few days off. I actually have a sports massage booked on Tuesday anyway. It was there before to be ironed out before Christmas. I'm going to be using it to talk a little bit more about my leg. And that's kind of the persistence through niggles. And it's also understanding my body is not what it used to be 10 years ago. I'm 34 now, so I'm realising that I'm not that 19, 20-year-old kid that can go play football on a Saturday and then go out for a run on the Sunday if I ever wanted to, and football train on a Tuesday. I can't do it anymore. And I'm noticing more and more with the intensity back when I started running when I was 28. I've got to be honest with you, I could probably have done a workout every day. In fact, the first year I pretty much ran hard most days and I could recover very quickly. I'm noticing now 3 workouts a week, depending on the intensity. Marathon training's fine, but these half marathon blocks, I kind of experienced it a bit in the summer when I was training with Chris, and now doing this on my own, throwing in those tempo workouts on the long runs on the weekend. Although it's done me the world of good in terms of fitness, I have to say, I feel like potentially it was just a little bit too much, and obviously now I ended up with a tight calf. I persisted to try and finish the 12 weeks, and now I have an even tighter calf, which will not kind of untighten it. It's just kind of locked solid. So I'm going to end up taking Monday and Tuesday off, see the sports massage therapist, and see how it is on Wednesday and Thursday before Christmas. Obviously, depending on lockdown, if we go into one or not, we've got Hereford 10K the week after, so I'm fingers crossed be all fine for that. But now it's about taking care over the next 2 weeks, understanding my body and moving into the next training block, which is a half marathon block, understanding that maybe, just maybe, I've got to go based on feel on the day. If I'm feeling good, by all means do a third workout of the week, but if I'm not, listen to the body and just take it easier or moderate or just tone it back a bit. It's more important to keep knocking those weeks out consistently than being set back. Thankfully, my setback is now at the end of 12 weeks and not part way through a block. So it's been noted up here. Definitely something I'll be taking into consideration moving into the next block. And that's it today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Apologies about the audio. My microphone has gone missing. I have no idea where it's gone, but I'm delighted to have wrapped up these 12 weeks with this last long run, albeit not the way I wanted to, but either way, 12 weeks in the bag. Now to enjoy Christmas for a couple of weeks, low-key running and moving into the Cardiff Half Marathon block. So thank you so much for tuning in over the past few weeks with this series. I can't wait to, fingers crossed, do it some justice at Hereford in 8-9 days time, whenever it's going to be. If you enjoyed today, give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Until then.